Cody, I told you to quit talking during the intro.
Yeah, Cody, what the fuck?
I feel like you make this joke every time.
I think that's what's going to make it funny if I do it every time. Because then people are going to be like, he's going to do it, and then they'll think maybe I won't do it, but I'll always do it.
You know what's not funny? What's happening in China?
There's
your Sagoo. Go ahead.
That's the most fucking redonkulous Sagoo in history. We also haven't said who we are, what this podcast is, and you want to talk about the Chinese government.
What's happening in China? Who are you, Franny?
Gotta keep it fresh. All right, we are not a podcast about the Chinese government. We are
tears streaming down my face.
It took everything in me not to do an insultingly racist Chinese accent.
Okay, let's not.
I didn't.
We're a pilot podcast.
I didn't.
Hi,
That's why
welcome.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Normally,
I didn't tap into my Midwest comedy. I stayed away.
Normally, we don't talk about the Chinese government. Normally, we talk about two pilots of two different TV shows.
Of two different governments.
Alike, but not the same in Fair Verona. Anyway.
Not quite.
Logan.
What?
So, like, I'm playing with the slime that has little beads in it, and the beads are just dropping all over the floor out of the slime.
Oh, shit. Good thing the dogs don't come in here.
Yeah, that's good. I doubt that's safe for kids or dogs to eat. But anyways,
especially not kid dogs.
Back to the Chinese government.
I feel like we
didn't
should.
even say your name.
Anyway, so we're a pilot podcast. My name is Logan. You might know me from Crosscut Cinema, a film podcast, or maybe you know me from my original YouTube channel, youtube.com/Logan Tyler, where you can get clips of this, as well as clips of our other podcast, as well as individual content. Just a quick little plug there.
Love that.
I'm Frani.
What a fucking dork.
You may know me from our other podcast, Crosscut Cinema.
Crosscut Cinema.
Nice.
Where we talk about movies.
I feel like I just said all of this.
They didn't know I was involved.
Anyway, yeah.
And I'm Cody. Hi. You might know me as CL Blue. I make music. You can listen to it everywhere and things.
We're on YouTube.
I mean, I don't have a specific channel name. I'm not as famous as you, so I don't have my own channel thing.
But you have a
it's
topic
linked in the bio, and you can follow me on socials.
You have a topic though, because you're on YouTube Music. So isn't it just
I
CL Blue
do.
topic?
CL Blue topic. Yes,
go.
that's very true.
Whoa, I didn't know that
But,
was a thing.
I quit saying I'm famous. It's only true.
Shut up.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
I only say true things.
Anyway,
What are we talking
China.
about today?
are you guys really going to talk about the Chinese government thing, or are we moving on?
We can move on.
Okay, today we're going to talk about Mindhunter, right? Okay. So, Mindhunter.
Holy hell.
We're talking about Mindhunter and Veronica Mars.
Yeah.
We'll start with Mindhunter.
We'll start
though.
with Mindhunter.
Logan seems ready.
I am. I'm a huge David Fincher fan, and he's the one who is the showrunner. He's one of the producers, along with Charlize Theron. Is that her name?
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron, the mega babe. She also produced this show. And it's basically about with obviously changes. Well, you know, actually, Cody, just read the Wikipedia, and then I'll get more into the production notes.
Sure. Mindhunter is an American psychological crime thriller television series created by Joe Penhall based on the 1995 true crime book Mindhunter inside the FBI's elite serial crime unit. The executive producers include Penhall, Charlize Theron, and David Fincher. The stars Jonathan Groff. It follows the founding of the behavioral science unit in the FBI in the late 1970s and the beginning of the criminal profiling.
Yeah, so and the thing is even though Fincher's listed as an executive producer, he directed a lot of the episodes as well as wrote on them. So it's really got, if you're a fan of like Zodiac or Seven or Fight Club, it really has that influence on the show. It's that kind of grit, and it's all really interesting to look at. So if you like the visuals of David Fincher, this is very much a Fincher project, much more than House of Cards. This really has like his like thumbprint on it. But yeah, so the show. Okay, so I really love the characters of like Bill Tench and Jonathan Groff, but I feel like a lot of people misinterpret what the Holden character really is supposed to be. I feel like the Holden character, like the show. Do you think when you watch the show, he's like a likable guy?
No.
Or would you say that he's like?
Well, I think they make him a likable guy, but I don't think he's supposed to be that likable, right?
Yeah, I feel like he's really like a weird mixture of like Jake Gyllenhaal's character in Zodiac and Jesse Eisenberg's Mark Zuckerberg in Social Network. Like he really has kind of both vibes. He's kind of like, I don't know, on this like maybe on the spectrum of some sort, maybe not, but he really lacks like an individual personality, and it makes it easier for him to do what he ends up doing, which is finding a way to empathize and understand like the mind of a serial killer. So like I just. The show, okay. The upsetting part about the show though is that it's supposedly based on like true events and whatnot, but people need to know that this is extremely like dramatized. Like it did not go down this way. Like this guy who the Holden character is based on is actually a very good person, but I think the show is designing you to like Holden and slowly hate him more as the show goes on.
Yeah,
but that's not
Logan
that's
and
not
I
reality.
both watched the whole show, but we will timestamp. In the description when spoilers begin. We'll just talk about the pilot for now.
Yep. You have anything to say about it?
No.
You have nothing to say about the pilot?
Oh wait, you were just.
I've been talking. I want to.
You're in the middle of.
I don't want to like say so much, and then like at the very end, you guys are like, "Yeah, it's cool." I kind of want to intermix what I know based on what you guys say.
Yeah, I like this show a lot. It's one that I definitely am sad it's not coming back, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
It definitely like, and I also like took advanced like psychology and stuff in school, and it's cool like watching a show that executes so well like what I learned. It's kind of fun.
And what's great about this movie is it's a reaction from Zodiac, where like obviously, I mean, we love Zodiac, a lot of people really do, but actually it didn't do as well as some of his other films, and he thinks it's because there was like this huge build up and like all this intensity and like great dialogue and great back and forth and like cerebral shots where like things are so much in people's heads. And but then Zodiac ends on like a downer of like you don't know who the killer is or what happened. It's like so like very like inconclusive. And his plan was to make the show and then have it be like a great endpoint, but now the show's not going to continue, so it's literally just Zodiac again.
Yeah.
It's tragic.
That sucks. This show could have easily went on and did more than it.
I mean, five seasons are written. The whole show is finished. They just aren't going to make it, which is really upsetting.
Interesting.
And we'll get into why. But Cody, what did you think about the show?
I mean, do you want my honest opinion?
Yeah, that's what we're here for. Yeah.
I was kind of bored, if I'm honest. What I think what I really liked about it was it's set in the 1970s, but it's not done in the way that like most shows show the 1970s, where it's super like blown out in color, or it's
like aggressively 1970s, yeah.
Or like the lingo and shit. Like you don't hear like 70s lingo.
Yes. Exactly.
You more like know it's 70s because of like the exterior stuff, like the wardrobe and like that settings.
Right. Yep. And that's exactly what I was going to say, is that it's like, it's an atmosphere and you can tell it's the age it is because of how casually done, like costuming is done. Like they're using old Crown Vics in the police scenes. And, I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I do want to say, I don't find his character very likable at all. one of the first things I thought was, do you know who's really crazy? Not the guy who just blew his head off after taking a hostage. It's the guy who came home and drank milk after. I think you're right that he's somewhere on the spectrum, but I find it so hard to take Jonathan Groff. Jonathan Groff as this character doesn't make as much sense to me as some of his other acting choices.
Really? I feel like he's brilliant in this.
I feel like I forget he's like Glee. Like he's from Glee in this, you know? Like I feel like he becomes this character. I was literally thinking, there's Kristoff. That's the entire time. So I don't know if it's just I don't have a lot of experience with this kind of television. Yeah. I'm not that big into like thriller mind play stuff. But that was also. Did you find any of that?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
He reminds me a lot of that kid in Ginny and Georgia because he asks, "Did you orgasm?" And I just thought it's so sad, but he does it really well in the fact that he is this like awkward kind of possibly, I don't know. He does it well, but also I felt very like fish out of water with Jonathan there. So I'm not sure.
Did you like any of the historical stuff? Like any of the relevancy of that? Like showing how the police used to act and showing how these things changed? Because you get a lot of that in the first episode.
You do. Yeah. I think my favorite scene in the entire episode was when he is at those seminars with his, what's his name? I don't remember his name.
Bill Tench.
But yeah, Bill Tench.
Yeah.
And they're at these seminars and he's like going off on these tangents about mind stuff and they're like, we don't, what? we don't get this. And I thought that was really enjoyable, but
they're like, what kind of language you speaking, son? Yeah, that's pretty bad. What kind of dog is that? No, yeah, no, that they definitely, but the fact is, like, that's really how it was, though. Or, like, my favorite, one of my favorite scenes to show how ignorant the police was, I mean, they still are, but how ignorant they were in that point, like, the FBI, is when they're role-playing and they're, like, being super racist for no reason.
It was so cringy.
It was so bad, but, like, that's totally how they talk to each other. It's real.
And they called out the gay kid, and the gay kid goes ham, and he's like, what did you just call me?
He's like,
I don't know.
I ain't no queer, buddy. And they're just like gonna swing on each other. It's like, what? This is what guys used to fight over? This is crazy. I could not imagine throwing hands at somebody because they called me gay. Like, literally throwing hands like, right away. No questions. Like, not sizing them up at all. Just straight to fisticuffs. That's insane.
That's all I got. It's so, I have a hard time with it because it's a good show, but I think he takes it like away the immersiveness for me, but it's done so well.
What do you think about Bill Tench?
Very believable for that time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's fucking amazing in this. He might even be the best person like in the show.
I agree. I
kind of like his character too, how he's like so old fashioned, but he's like trying to learn the new ways.
Exactly.
He's like old fashioned, but he always reevaluates in the moment if it's actually the smartest course of action. And he always picks that no matter how uncomfortable it is. And I think that's a really cool character. Also, the character of based on the real killer is Edmund Kemper. That character, that actor fucking kills it. He is haunting.
Oh, yeah.
Haunting as Ed Kemper.
He's not in the pilot, right?
He is in the pilot.
Really?
The serial killer he interviews, that's definitely in the pilot.
I don't remember this. Okay.
Wait, really? He's not in the pilot?
I don't remember.
Dude, there's no way he's not in the pilot. I swear he is.
'Cause I went back to watch the pilot and my phone fucked up and I watched half of the pilot and half of the 4th episode.
I'll figure
and I was
this out.
real confused. But I had already seen the show.
I don't remember that, but it could have happened. I don't know. I know the episode ends when Holden's like, I can't help you because I don't have the answers to figure out about this killer. I don't. I'm sorry. And the guy's like genuinely upset because he's like, you're supposed to have this newfangled way of doing things. Why don't you know what's going on? I'm taking this personally.
Yeah, but also at the same time, did Holden not just show up that day and act like he's a know-it-all and everybody else is dumb? And then he's like, okay, solve it. True. And he's like, okay, solve it. And then he's like, you can't solve it. It's like, well, I guess you're not that fucking smart, are you? You fucking bitch. You're like, talk shit. Like, I feel like that's kind of the vibe it was. It was like, okay, here you go. Give it a shot. And he's like, I don't know, man. Aliens? I don't know. No, dude, I gotta tell. Okay, if Ed Kemper's not in the pilot, which I swear he is, he's like the most iconic character like of the show in my opinion, in a lot of ways. So
yeah, the actor does him like perfect.
So fucking scary.
Yeah, so like subtly scary too. Like,
do you remember the guy? He's got glasses and a big mustache.
I don't.
Dude.
I'm literally looking him up right now to see if I.
Yeah, it would have been a scene of them like interviewing him.
Yeah, interviewing him.
Maybe it doesn't happen in the first episode.
That's insane to me if it doesn't happen in the first episode because it's like such a pivotal thing in the whole show.
His first episode is episode 2.
Wow.
What? Yep. That's insane to me because he's like the whole point of the show is they interview serial killers. That's the whole point.
I guess they just really want to set it up in the first episode.
I mean, they knew everybody was going to binge it. Oh, well, sorry, guys. But, I mean, it's well documented that he's, like, a main, point in, like, how they did behavioral analysis. Like, everybody knows historically accurately. They used this guy and interviewed him a lot and stuff. So that's how it was in the show.
The actor did a great job.
So fucking scary. Well, okay. Well, then, do you guys have anything else to say or do you want to get into spoiler talk?
I mean, I feel like we could get into spoiler talk. Do we do a fuck,
marry, kill? I'd marry Bill Tench.
You'd fuck, marry, and kill Bill Tench.
I would definitely fuck Jonathan Groff's girlfriend because she seems crazy.
Yeah, she's nuts.
She seems nuts. I'd marry Bill Tench and I'd kill BTK because I think he's technically in the pilot. So there you go.
Okay. I'd fuck Bill Tench.
You're like
that
just screams daddy issues to me.
I'd it might be hot goss, but I'd marry Jonathan Groff's character. But I'd kill Bill Tench's son.
Oh shit, you don't know who Bill Tench's son is, but that's fucked up.
He's a child, but he has to go.
Okay.
He's gotta go. He really does gotta go.
I'd kill Bill Tench.
No!
After I fuck him.
Get over here, Bill. He's got a gun to his temple while Franny's laying in bed like, oh my god. Bill's like, why are you doing this? Just be like, it was fuck, marry, kill.
Jonathan,
you drew the short straw.
Jonathan Groff's character is just in the background analyzing everything.
Trying to talk you down like that fucking guy in the beginning. You're like, nobody can see me. This is only fuck, marry, kill.
And then I marry Jonathan Groff and
I just walk in. I'm like, what are you doing with Bill Tench?
Wait,
that's my husband.
He'd marry Jonathan Groff and fuck his girlfriend.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Okay, spoilers, because I don't care.
Okay, cool. So they start the unit.
Oh, so I'm guessing, Cody, you're not going to watch the show?
I feel like if it was anyone but Jonathan Groff, I would have watched it, but I just can't do it.
Oh.
But I might give the second episode a shot, especially since you said that the guy who plays Ed's really great.
Really great. You're going to be fucking blown away.
So I still can't believe give it a shot, but
I can't believe Kemper didn't get nominated for anything. That actually blows my mind that he didn't get any sort of nomination for this because he was incredible in it. But it happens. Did we actually say whether we'd watch it based on the pilot? Shouldn't we do that before spoilers?
I'd watch the shit out of this show again. This show is so good. 10 out of 10. Watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely a 9 out of 10 for sure.
6 for me.
Ooh, that's where you can really see the divide in like our tastes, and what makes this podcast really dynamic. All right, I'd say we can pause.
I feel like wait, no, we didn't do the spoiler talk.
We didn't do spoilers.
You don't want to talk about the amazing Charles Manson?
I do want to talk about this. This show is so fucking good.
They did this interview with Charles Manson at one point, and it is like the single great like the way it's shot. A bunch of like, you know, like psychologists and stuff have like gone over like the scene itself and talked about how intricate everything was, like with like mental neuropsies and like mental illness, like being able to see it, like how they laid it out and like contradictory things that like they made it seem so fucking real by the way they wrote it. And it's a fucking amazing scene. If you're not going to watch the show, just watch the scene on YouTube. It's fucking incredible. It's like the best Charles Manson made thing ever. It seems so fucking real.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just like a total highlight. And then, you know, like he starts getting more involved in like the actual like day-to-day investigations of one serial killer in season 2. So he's like actually going to Atlanta for like the Atlanta child murders and like actually working the beat. And that's when the show really fucking kicks up, and it's like a really good noir style detective story versus just like a mental analysis show. And like when they have both, it's really like a fucking awesome dynamic. Like it feels really good to watch. And it's like really intense.
I'll be honest, it did feel like it took 30 or 40 minutes to actually get to a plot point.
Yeah,
which I think
once it kicks in,
kind of my issue. But I do agree that once it kicked in and we got to the scenes where he was doing the seminars and they were talking about the murders, that was when it got really interesting to me. So
it gets way better. I was gonna say this is a weak pilot comparison to the rest of the show, and like, I just like.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good point, that this pilot is like slow and like kind of not as exciting as the rest of the show.
The rest of the show is like running at 1,000 miles an hour, and like there's also the Bill Tench family storyline, which is really fucking devastating, but really fucking good. Like the storyline with his son and the murdered kid and shit.
Oh yeah, no, it gets really
fucking
good.
Intense. It's really fucking good. Like it feels like so natural because now you've grown to like know the character as like an individual versus like the archetype of detective. So when fucked up shit starts happening to his family, you're like, holy shit, this can literally happen to anyone, and it's really fucking devastating, dude. It's so good. Right, Franny?
Yeah, it's very like believable in the way it does it too, you know? And like I like how it strays from the source material, obviously, but it doesn't like do it annoyingly. Like it makes another plot point out of it that's totally viable.
Oh, and what's her face? The psychologist.
Oh yeah. She's my favorite.
She's a fucking bad bitch, dude. She's a bad bitch. Oh my god.
Watch the next episode because like the baddest bitch is introduced in it. She's a lesbian. She is well dressed. She is smart.
She's like really fierce. Like it's fucking crazy. Like think of the one lawyer from Jessica Jones and like multiply it by like 1 million, like hard as fucking rocks.
Her wardrobe is iconic every minute.
What'd you say, Cody?
I said I peaked. That interests me.
She's also just like smart and articulate too. So like she just fucking slays conversationally.
And like she's gay in the 70s and she's a woman in power and she's like, fuck you if it bothers you, bitch. It's fucking fantastic. There's this great scene where like they're at like a cocktail mixer because like basically they're trying to get funding for the unit because now it's gotten some notoriety for half solving a case, right? So
right.
She's a part of the unit now. She started working there just because she believes in it so much. Like she took a paid like detriment. Like she quit like a really well-paying job to work for this unit because she believed in the research so much. And so like as a part of it, she's got to go to these mixers and shit, and these dudes are trying to hit on her, and she's like, fuck you, like slapping him in the face and shit. It's nuts. It's nuts. Do you remember that scene, Franny?
No, I don't. But
this
she's so good.
This guy was like, "Roll, miss," and she's like, "I'm good, thanks," and throws a drink in his face. I was like, "Oh shit!"
She's just a bad bitch,
for sure. Yeah, I can see why she's your favorite character. I think Bill's still mine just because of all the shit he goes through.
Yeah.
But Holden is no one's. Holden is no one's.
Yeah,
favorite.
no one's a Holden stan.
Even when he does help people, they're like, "You're such a fucking douche." They really are though.
Yeah.
Because he gets way less likable as the show goes on. Like, he's really picking like everything over the humanity of like them. Like he'll do anything, and he'll put Bill and his life online in so many ways, and like not even care about Bill's family, and just be like, it's for the fucking unit. It's like, dude, he has a family. Quit being an asshole.
Yeah, his character development too is also just like crazy. Like they kind of set him up to be like almost a like serial killer, maybe question mark. The show's always going to kind of be left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, we'll never know how it ends because and that's the thing is basically this show to Netflix, it's really popular amongst Netflix users, but doesn't pull new Netflix members out. So like in other words, are you still there, Cody?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you were so quiet. I was like, oh my gosh, did we lose him? Not even notice.
I'm just listening.
No, that's good. So like for instance, like Stranger Things is a show that brings people to the service. Like, oh, I heard about that show. Let me see that show. Whereas like Mindhunter was a hit amongst people who were already browsing on it. So as a result, Netflix is like, well, even though it's really popular for our users, we can't keep putting super large amounts of money into it. So there was less funding for season 2. And they barely scraped by with what they had. It was really like the passion of the people who was working on the show, like taking pay cuts and like making it happen, right?
Yeah.
So then David Fincher's like, you know what, we're going to pause this. I'm going to release these people from their contracts because of what they did. They need to start working again and like getting a good paying job, and then we can eventually come back. And I just won't hold them to a contract. Everybody wants to be here. Everybody will come back if we do come back. So he cut their contracts. Netflix got pissed about that. And he's like, you know what? It was my choice. And like, you're not giving us the funding and I need to go make my movie, which the movie he made is Mank, and it's nominated for Best Picture. So obviously it's good. But he then came back and he was like, you know what? Like the stress of trying to make the show with the little budget we had, he's like, I can't keep making the show on that. So it's just going to have to end here.
That's insane.
He said they weren't giving enough money. And now Netflix is like, I think they're behind the scenes trying to make it happen, but I think David Fincher's like out of love with it. He's like, what you guys put me through for season 2 was insane.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, this show would be great.
Is there a quality drop? Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just saying the show would be great.
No, there's no quality drop. The reason, the way they made it work was just a lot of people willing to work longer hours, quit other projects, and like take less pay. Because it's such a good show, they think this is going to be, you know, when they're doing it, they're like, this is going to be my Golden Globe show. This is the show. This is the Breaking Bad Netflix show. Like everybody loves this show that's on Netflix. So this has possibilities of like getting me awards and us making something really great. I think everybody was excited to do that, and then it didn't turn into that.
Yeah. It definitely should have. It definitely should have. It had every right to.
I mean, it's definitely one of the best shows on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's fucking great. I remember that it really sticks with me too, because it was like I was working at my escape room place I used to work at, and one of the nights like I had come home at like 2 a.m. or some shit because I worked really late hours there, and I watched the entire second season. I binged the whole thing, and I had to rewatch the whole thing again with Frani because she was mad at me. But I binged the whole thing that night, and it's literally like 10 hours or something, and I didn't even think about it, and I had to go to work the next day.
Jeez.
Wow.
It was worth it, dude. It was so good.
Now, you said it ends on a cliffhanger. What kind of cliffhanger?
It's not so much that it ends on a cliffhanger. I guess it kind of does, but really what it is like, like the way David Fincher directs things is he builds up a lot of like, intensity, and like it's always like when the release finally happens, when there's like a big moment, usually it's like a big ass moment, like with Fight Club. It's like something so dynamic, and he made Zodiac more subdued, and he never got to like a finishing point, and his goal was, I want to make somewhere in between my other movies and Zodiac. I want it to be like this soft noir kind of like mental show, but I want it to end really fucking like big and like unexpected and awesome. And then he didn't get to do that because the show obviously was canceled, even though he wrote out all 5 seasons.
Yeah.
I just want them to do a table read of the other seasons. You know, just sit
That
there,
could be cool.
do it for a stream, and just read the show as if it was going to happen. If you're never going to make it, I'm sure those actors would do it. They loved what they were doing. But, you know, who knows? You still there, Fran?
Maybe
I'm still
Hulu
here.
Ulu will take it up.
I mean, Netflix owns the rights to the show, though, so.
Yeah, that sucks.
And the thing is, it's not even that Netflix wouldn't make it. They're just like, we can't pay you that much to do it because it's just not
Do the
popular
budget.
enough. Yeah. But even though it's super popular, it's just weird. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
It's like when something's a trend on like TikTok or YouTube, like everybody knows about it that uses that service, but just it never expands out. That's what happened with Mindhunter. Everybody who's on Netflix is like, this is my shit. Everybody who wasn't doesn't care.
Yeah. Which is crazy. I feel like it definitely could have grown and been the show that brought people to the platform.
Oh, definitely. That was their Breaking Bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it was really well crafted, and everything looks so fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
All the yellow lighting and like the soft blues for like it really, they used everything they could to differentiate it from other shows, and they really kind of did, especially as the show went on.
Is the guy that plays Bill Tench in anything else big, or?
He was in the Justice League movie for like 5 seconds. He played criminal on Roof.
Wow, so this could have been like his big.
No, I think he's been in stuff. I think him and the guy who voices Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob fight for roles all the time.
What does he look like? Do they look like each other?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, not like super like each other, but they both do a lot of video game work. I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they do a lot of video game work, and they get a lot of the same stuff.
I looked up Mr. Krabs to look up the actor, and the first suggestion is Mr. Krabs hot.
I hate this. Did you hear they got rid of? Oh my guys, we need to do a SpongeBob special, a SpongeBob annual. Just go over the 8 best SpongeBob episodes and just do like a whole big review of it.
Bill Tench's character, he was in Fight Club.
Mm-hmm. That he was.
I thought he looked familiar, but I couldn't remember. I couldn't place him. I love that.
I think Fincher kind of
Yeah.
loves him, so Fincher puts him in a lot. He kind of keeps the same people whirling around doing the same shit. I think that's it. I think that's all we have to say about this one.
Yeah.
Just go watch it. It's really great. Even though, it doesn't really, it didn't actually end. Each season ends pretty conclusively. The only thing that really sucks is the whole show has an underlying story of BTK. And it's never resolved. Like, you never get to see them actually go out. Because that's the final season, was them finally going after BTK and capturing him. Because that was like the big serial killer they caught. And it just doesn't happen now, I guess, because the show's not going to end. But ignore all the weird beginning of the episode BTK stuff. It won't mean anything. Just skip that part. But other than that, it's a great show.
I'd watch this show again, and I feel like I might. Honestly, it's that good. All right, do you guys want to pause? And we'll come back with the next Veronica Mars. And we're back.
Woo!
And we're going to talk about Veronica Mars.
Veronica Mars.
Cody, do you want to start us out with
She is not from Mars.
No, she's not.
Allegedly.
Nor married to Mars.
She is from Neptune, though.
Does Bruno Mars is gay?
Yes.
What?
Does Bruno Mars is gay?
He doesn't.
It's been the rumor for a while.
There's an article that came out that read
You don't know about that meme article, dude?
No.
So there's like a lot of articles that are just made by bots, just like get views on like a website. And one of the bots assumingly malfunctioned and wrote this article, "Does Bruno Mars is gay?" And then it was just all gibberish. It's been in the news for the while that he might be on the homosex.
Good for him.
It's like, does Bruno Mars is gay? That's the ultimate question.
So Veronica Mars is an American teen noir mystery drama television series created by screenwriter Rob Thomas. The series is set in the fictional town of Neptune, California, and stars Kristen Bell as the title character. The series premiered in September of 2004 on UPN and finished its final season, the third season, on the CW. And then it was brought back for a reunion very recently.
Yes.
Does Veronica Mars is good?
Yeah, I'd say so. What would you say so?
To be honest with you, I thought this pilot was kind of boring. But there's stuff I like about it. It's really stylized. Like, it's very campy and dorky.
I feel like that's something that kind of fades after the pilot. Like, I feel like it's still stylized and a little dorky, but the pilot goes, like, super noir.
I would say also, like, I think it's a little tonally confused. I think some things come off and they're, like, genuinely like, oh, this is kind of nice and endearing. And then other times it's like, what the fuck?
Oh, no, that's a big problem throughout the whole show. It doesn't know if it wants to be like teeny bopper drama or
so
like
she was raped? Like, you know, like it's like that serious.
Or like really
it'll go from
shit.
like, I bought a soda pop and he said, you don't buy soda pops around here anymore, Jack.
From a man
then he raped me. And it's like, what?
Yeah, it'll go from a man being pantsed or a kid being like fucking given a wedgie with a flagpole to like somebody being murdered and raped in like the same 20-minute span. So yeah,
literally happened.
It definitely does not know what it wants to be.
But I honestly I kind of like it.
I fucking love this.
I mean,
show.
I don't know if I love it, but I kind of like it. I think how stylized is pretty cool. I love noir stuff. It kind of reminds me of the movie Brick, but like if it was less serious and more like trashy TV for teenagers, and I can get behind that.
Yeah.
What did you think, Cody? I know this was your first time watching it, right?
This was my first time watching it, and I really liked it. Spoilers.
I've watched it like 8 times. This is my first time liking it.
I just keep watching it, hoping maybe I'll change my own mind.
It's like as far as like networking goes, this show should mean a lot to me, but it seems to suck. I guess I'll keep watching it.
I mean, I do feel like this show is like marketed at me, to be fair.
It really is.
I really liked it. I thought, I mean, there were definitely some moments where I was like, okay, I don't think you know what you want to be, but like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It's the pilot.
Yeah, it definitely gets better.
I really enjoyed it.
There seems to be a lot too many rapey vibes from these teenage boys. Like,
oh yeah,
like
it doesn't stop.
I'm
just gonna say, like,
high school.
No, but like, no, it isn't though. Like, it's not this bad at high school. They're treating this like this is a back alley in a third world country. Every other character is like pantsing somebody or fucking raping someone, and I'm like, what is this show?
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely odd. This show takes probably the craziest plot twists I've seen in a lot of shows like this. It's definitely a fucking weird one, but I don't want to get into all the spoiler talk yet. We'll definitely timestamp that. But yeah.
So like, what actually happens in the pilot?
Yeah. So in the pilot, I know it sets up like her. So it's this girl, Veronica. She's a high schooler played by Kristen Bell, baby Kristen Bell, and she is kind of like, it keeps like showing us flashbacks of like last year in school when she was like popular, had like a boyfriend, and like she was best friends with her boyfriend's sister, and like they were all like the popular rich, like she wasn't like rich like they all were, but like she just hung out with them, and they like kind of like didn't have any problems and everything. And then it doesn't tell us what happened, but like you see her in school now, and like she has an edgy haircut and wears black and like doesn't hang out with the same people anymore because her and her boyfriend broke up for what appeared to her as no reason. His sister was also murdered, and like they don't know what happened. This man went to jail for it, and her dad, Veronica's dad, who's like the town private investigator, he was a cop at the time, and he kind of ended up losing his job. He was like the sheriff or something like that, and he ended up losing his job for wrongly accusing the girl's father of killing her. I think I pretty much nailed it. I think that's about what happens. There's some other antics ensue, but I feel like that's the knowledge that the first episode gives you, right?
Cody,
you cut out a little bit. I'm sorry.
I feel like that's about what like you learn about the plot in the first episode, as far as that goes, right?
I'd say the only thing is like she befriends this kid who's being picked on by kind of like a gang in school.
Yeah.
And then also her mom left after her dad was like wrongly accusing a murderer. And so the mom comes into play in the pilot as well.
Yes, the mom.
Very interesting, the mom.
The relationship between her and her dad is kind of fun. I kind of like that relationship. Just like going off of character dynamics.
What do you think of Backup, the dog?
I don't know if I remember the dog.
Yeah, so they have a dog. Bring Backup.
Yeah, Backup. I remember Backup now. I don't know. It's very Dylan Dog-esque, and it's like it. I feel like this show could very easily switch one season to having a supernatural element, and it wouldn't be that weird.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
It's very campy. It's very like Bill Dozier Batman style, campy noir style shit. Really gumshoe detective, goofy, just good. It's just like a fun show. It's not like anything too serious. Until it is, and that's the problem.
Yeah,
that's my problem with it. It's
too
such a
serious. Maybe.
It's such a good show, and then all of a sudden it's like, and she was raped in front of her father, and I'm like, what? Why is this happening? Like, it just that didn't happen in the show, by the way. But I'm just giving examples, like really fucking dramatic shit, and it'll go from something like super but
like close
simple.
enough. Honestly, what you said, that's close enough.
Yeah. It's just. I'm just not into like the serious turns that it wants to take because I feel like it hasn't given me enough time of like give me a season of soft, like kind of like easy to swallow content, and then like the next season you can go all crazy, and now I've developed with these characters and I understand them better. For me, I'm just like, Veronica seems like her life sucks. I would have killed myself if I was her. Jesus Christ. Like, I was just like, fuck, man. Somebody gives this bitch a break. But I wasn't like, oh no, not Veronica, because I'm like, who the fuck is Veronica? It just felt like it happened too fast.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the relationship with the dad, like you were saying. I thought it was charming and it was cute, and I liked that there was like a banter, and it felt like they actually like know each other really well, even though they're strangers, but they do feel like a parental relationship. What I struggle with is A, what kind of dad lets their daughter walk out with those kinds of layers, A, and B, why on earth would you let her, like, if you actively know she's going to these dangerous situations to do these kinds of things, what kind of dad is like, yeah, just take the dog with you?
Yeah, no. Yeah, CPS needs to be involved.
Okay.
Yeah,
like, I want to like you, but that's kind of neglect.
There's also the whole child labor law thing.
Yeah, she works like really late hours and fucks up in school because of it.
Wait, is Mr. Mars a bad guy?
Mr. Mars is something.
He gives me a vibe, though, if I'm honest.
I wouldn't say he's a bad guy, but I mean, they really leave it kind of, you're not supposed to know in the first episode. I feel like the first episode.
Oh, but do we find out?
You definitely find out who's good guys and who's bad guys. Yes, at points.
Okay.
This show goes.
Does Veronica ever fuck the guy?
Fuck who?
Whatever guy that was like, it was plated that she might fuck. Yeah.
Oh no, that remains platonic.
I mean, I was like, they feel like friends to me.
Yeah.
No, the other guy that was like a jerk to her, but like she might.
Logan.
Yeah, is she gonna fuck that guy?
I mean,
she fucks that guy.
I thought he was the one who raped her.
Yeah,
That's
they do kind of set that up. Oh yeah, that whole scene happened in the pilot. So Veronica,
she wakes up in a bed.
Yeah, so she goes to this party because she wants to kind of prove that like these popular kids that used to be her friends talking shit about her like doesn't matter to her, and like she's unfazed. So she goes to this party that like she knows they'll all be at, and like she goes alone and everything, and she's just like trying to be friends with the people who she used to be, but like not really try too hard. And somebody drugs her drink, and she doesn't remember anything and wakes up in a bed with like her underwear across the room. And like, she goes to the police department, and the fucking young buck fucking cop that took over her dad's position like does not believe her that she got raped.
ACAB, dude.
Yeah, fucking ACAB. This show is so ACAB.
Even though she is kind of a cop.
Yeah, but like she's edgy and cool, and we like her.
What I find conflicting is the dad is like a private eye. You think he'd teach his daughter, hey, don't have an open drink, and then if you do, don't leave it somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't just take an open drink. You feel like that would be something that you would teach someone.
But like they definitely make it like seem like now she's very much in the world that her father is in, where she like helps him with his private investigation and everything. But that definitely is not the vibe in the flashbacks. I think he kind of like was able to kind of shelter her before her friend died.
And then she got raped.
Yeah, and she got raped, and it was a big wake up call to her. Like, not
here's
a
my
wake-up
problem
call,
with the
but
show.
like
This is the same show where they were fighting. They were hanging out with dudes on the beach, making fun of them for their fucking hair gel and shit. And then the next scene's like, and I was raped. Like, it's just a little intense for me. I feel like it should have been spaced out a little bit more.
I could see that. Yeah.
Oh, are you ready? Okay, I feel like we got to get into spoiler talk very soon.
Fuck, marry, kill, right?
Oh yeah, fuck, marry, kill. We'll pretend like they're not actually high schoolers because none of these actors are. Logan, you want to go first?
No, I'll wait till somebody else goes.
Okay, Cody, you want to go?
No, I'll wait till somebody else goes.
Okay. I would.
Bitch, you're goofy.
I would kill Duncan. That's the ex-boyfriend. He's a pussy ass bitch. I would marry Logan, the bad guy. You'll see why.
Okay.
And I would fuck Veronica. Just once. Cause Kristen Bell, am I right? All right, anyways.
I
No, go ahead.
I would marry Kristen Bell. I would slam Kristen Bell. No, I'd slam Amanda Seyfried. 10 out of 10. The girl who dies. And then I would murder Logan.
Yikes.
He'd be by that pool.
Oh no. I would probably fuck Veronica. I'd marry her dad. Then I'd kill her dad. And we would make off with the money.
So you'd fuck her, then you'd become her stepdad?
Yeah. No, I'd probably, to be honest with you, I'd probably turn in the stepdad first, then I could fuck her as her stepdad. Be on that side of YouPorn, you know what I'm saying? That side of Pornhub. Which is the whole side.
At least make some money off of it.
Too many videos.
Except there's no money. They're poor. He was like, ooh, we're eating great tonight. We're having steak.
No, I was talking about making money off the porn.
No, but
I mean,
I almost fucked it up and said I'd fuck her dad and marry her. I almost said that. I almost fucked that up, and I was like, wait, Logan, think about what you're saying. I would say also I'd kill every hairstyle in this pilot.
I get it. I totally get it. That's fine. That's very valid. Okay, so spoiler talk begins now. So she wasn't actually raped.
I'm not gonna have a lot of time for that timestamp, Franny. You really kind of jumped into it, don't you think?
Yeah, like it's a whole thing that like she wasn't actually raped, which feels very problematic. Just to let this girl believe she was raped for like a full year, and like she suffers real PTSD from it, and she wasn't actually raped.
But think about that moment they all hug and like, well, that's great. Like that what?
So what happened was, you know, the like Duncan guy that like dumped her, that was like the sister of Amanda or the brother of Amanda Seyfried. Which, Cody, do you care if I get into too many spoilers?
Go ahead.
Okay. So
no, wait, seriously though, if you want to watch the show though, we can stop.
Okay, I do want to watch the show, but I don't care. I do watch things even if I'm spoiled.
Okay, I won't. I'll spoil gently. This is all found out, I feel like, within the first season. So that Duncan is actually her half brother.
Ew.
And they almost fucked.
What?
And that's why, that's why he dumped her, because that's when he found out. And he was actually the one that was with her the night she was like, yeah.
Oh, and that's why she's at the hotel. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep, that's why the mom was at the hotel with his dad. So her dad is not actually her dad. So that's like what becomes so endearing about the relationship, that like they like.
So in my fuck, marry, kill, I just married some random guy.
Yeah. Well, he's been her dad.
I almost fucked some random guy.
On the birth certificate, he's her father and everything, but like biologically, he is not.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot of good twists and turns in this. That is not even by far the craziest shit that happens. I don't want to spoil the big old spoiler who killed Amanda Seyfried, because I feel like that needs to be witnessed if you want to watch it.
Is it a character that's introduced in the pilot?
No, it's not a character that's introduced for a while.
Lame.
But it's a character very, very much like had been there the whole time. Just like not...
Lame.
Yeah.
Lame.
No, they make it really good. You'll like it. You'll fucking like it. And nobody calls it. I feel like nobody can call this.
Because it wasn't predetermined by the pilot, because he or she wasn't there.
Oh, really? Is that like a thing?
I mean, that's what I'm collecting from what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, like, no, I am saying, like, even as you watch the show, I feel like you don't guess it.
Probably because that person's not in the pilot.
Probably.
Which is cheap.
You're cheap.
What the fuck?
But I love the show. I also I watched the like after like the reunion or whatever.
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, I watched the movie. I'm super obsessed.
There's a movie and a reunion season.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched the movie.
Which one comes first? It's the movie, right?
Yeah. I started the reunion season. I haven't finished it yet because I wanted to go back and rewatch first, because I like certain things to flow together better, like my trash TV. But
right.
Yeah, so I feel like the Logan character obviously becomes like the love interest. And like it centers around them a lot, and I think it's cute. It's cute. It's a good one.
Guys, I think we should do a full spoiler review of 13 Reasons Why.
Oh my god.
Watch all of it and destroy
No, thank you. I don't want to.
Because I feel like 13 Reasons Why is if Veronica Mars went full fucking rape every episode. Like, I really feel like it's the same like corny bullshit and then too serious of topics.
Okay.
What, you guys don't think we should do it?
I think that could be good, but I don't want to suffer.
I know. I was literally like, that sounds really interesting, but I don't want to watch that.
I know. Well, people have to tell us in the comments if they actually want us to do it or not.
Yeah. If you want that, tell us.
So we'll fucking do it. We'll suffer. I mean,
we love to suffer. Anyway.
Yeah. I love how early 2000s this show is too, and like late 90s. Like so much a product of its time, with how tonally not okay it is a lot, and how like I don't know, it's just ridiculous.
I feel like pulling a Franny and just start screaming about how we should end it. You know how she like always ends shit early? I feel like being a Franny and being like, let's just end it. Let's go. We're done. It's good.
Why? Do you not want to talk about Veronica Mars anymore?
But doesn't Franny do that all the time whenever she loses interest?
Did you lose interest, Logan?
I'm not saying that.
Wow.
I'm not saying that.
You lost interest because I was talking.
Listen. So you can tell it's early 2000s because have you noticed if you look at the extras or just like the secondary characters, they're all from like a Cinderella story or they're from like Aquamarine.
It looks like they're all from Justin and Kelly.
Literally.
Oh, we covered from Justin to Kelly on Crosscut Cinema, guys. You guys should listen to that. But also, Cody, do you have a? This is random timing, but do you have a from Justin to Kelly story for us?
Okay, listen here. My favorite thing in the world when I was like, when did that even come out? Like I think I was in second grade, maybe. And it was the Saturday special in which my mom and I would go to Danbury Dollar Saver Cinemas, and we'd get the triple combo, and you'd get like 2 large drinks and a large popcorn. And I wondered why I was fat when I was a child, and now, because I would get a thrill from just heaving like a mouthful and just like shoving it in my mouth.
I'm so glad
like
we had this
extra
brother
buttery.
talk, because this is gonna be a whole different timestamp.
You were like, this was the only time I feel alive.
And so my mom and I would take turns deciding like which movie we would watch. And usually at the Dollar Saver Cinema, it was always like movies that have been out for a little while.
Oh,
so they
yeah.
like leave the regular cinema
I
and
used
then
to
they
go
go
to
to the
the-
Dollar Saver one.
I used to go to the same one that you're talking about.
And now it's torn down. It's really sad. I wish it wasn't, but apparently they had like fleas and stuff. So I guess
Yeah,
good.
it was nasty.
I remember one time I tweeted out when I was there. I said they have fecal matter all over the place, but I my autocorrect and I said they have fecal matter. Everybody thought I didn't know what fecal was.
Do you?
Yeah, it's poopy, but I wrote Finkel
Okay,
on
got it.
accident. They're like, this place is covered in
Finkel matter.
Finkel matter. My name is Edward
To be
Finkel.
fair, it did kind of look like that. It was like, I think the bathroom was
There was
like
like a
blue
shit
and it had like
spray
little
on the
speckles.
place. The
Literally.
whole place looked like a gas station bathroom. It looked like a Waffle House.
But the popcorn was bomb though, 10 out of 10.
But Justin Kelly, as you're saying.
So we would switch off who would get to pick the movie. And I decided, since I was a big American Idol fan, that the movie we were going to see one Saturday was From Justin to Kelly. Let me tell you about From Justin to Kelly. I loved it. It was like my favorite. It was like, I knew it was so bad, and I could literally see my mom rolling her eyes next to me. And I was just bopping and having a great time. And I was like, ooh, like, Kelly loved being here. You can tell. She's a great actress. Which apparently she did not like being there.
She's not being held against her will or anything, crying in the bathroom.
If you guys haven't listened to our review from Justin to Kelly, you have to listen to it. It is the fact that he's saying it's his favorite movie is the most fucked up thing I've ever heard. Like,
I loved
Prince
it.
Philip and Queen whatever's related, that's fine. Your favorite movies from Justin to Kelly?
I feel like the little pop star within you just had its
Oh, that was
awakening.
Like, this is the way.
I was
I
like-
like it.
Yeah.
I was literally like fantasizing about when I'm 16 and I can audition for American Idol, I'm going to have a movie like this. I'm going to be at the beach and I'm going to fall in love. And so,
Dude, Madison and Bridget are going to
watched
love
it.
hearing this, I swear.
Yes.
Because we went through such a moment with Justin and Kelly, and just the fact that someone enjoys it blows my fucking mind.
I don't enjoy it now. Let's be honest. I don't enjoy it now. But when I was younger, I am not lying. When I think we saw it 4 or 5 times.
That's
And
insane.
it would be like alternate Saturdays.
Your
so
poor
my mom would be like, okay, I'm
mother.
picking the movie. Hey, she got me back because she made me go to Pride and Prejudice like 7 times in 2006. And granted, it was a way better movie. But
Is that the one with Alan
still
Rickman?
stands. No, it was, I don't remember his name. He's in, he plays President Snow in Hunger Games, is the dad. And then it's Keira Knightley.
Oh, no, I've
I don't
seen that
remember any
one.
other
I've seen
actors
that
in the
one.
movie.
I'm pretty sure Alan Rickman's in that, isn't he?
I don't think so.
Maybe I'm wrong. But, yeah, no, I've seen that one. That movie's fucking terrible, so don't worry. It's still, I don't care if people say it's good. It's not. It's really bad. I mean, is it better than
I
From
like
Justin to
that
Kelly?
movie anyway.
If it's better from Justin to Kelly, then yeah, I'll give it that. But, like, it's not a good movie.
So yeah, if you witnessed a chubby kid and his mom with bad roots just like shoving down a pail of popcorn at a Justin to Kelly theater in like 2002-ish, that was probably me.
That's so cute.
Oh, They also had a claw machine, and I would make my mom sit out there for like 15 minutes after each movie and just like shove quarters in until we won something.
Dude, Franny and I fucking had a moment, dude.
Yeah, I almost won one the other day for a Squishmallow, and it literally like gathered it and then like released it.
That sucks.
It was the worst. I almost cried.
Sucks. I almost cried when Danbury closed. Although, granted, the last time I was there was when I saw 50 Shades of Grey, because I was like, no one is going to catch me dead seeing this movie. But I'll go to Danbury Dollar Theater and watch it.
I gotta feel like not only going to 50 Shades, but then discovering that you're in the cinema with me is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever thought of. Just like we're watching sexually odd stuff, because those two are not confident, but then you just find out you're boys in the audience.
Well, I went with my best friend Cassie. Hey, what's up, Cassie?
Hey, what's up,
and that was also like a tradition. It was like every Wednesday. Yeah, we love Cassie. Hi, Cassie. You're getting married in May. Woohoo! Anyway, so I watched it with her. So just imagine a bunch of like late teens, like just sitting in the back row awkwardly watching this.
Oh my God.
But the popcorn was great.
I love that.
I would just be weirded out to see it with other people, you know? This seems gross.
Oh, it was definitely weird.
But it was really
definitely weird.
Especially since, like, I can't think of people who are less sexy than the two stars of that film.
I also saw Epic Movie with my mom in that movie theater, and the scene where like Mystique's boobs get really big. We were not prepared for that.
I also can't think of somebody like less open to openly being sexual in public than Cody. So Cody kind of functions as grandma in public. So I can picture him like having to talk about like watching 50 Shades of Grey with a friend after it.
That's very true. If you know me in real life, I don't really curse. I don't talk about things. I'm a very private human.
Yeah, you're just grandma.
If you take me to the Dollar Saver Cinema.
The Midwest bitch comes out.
We saw Ghostbusters there, and people walked out.
Oh, we did? Me and
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was worthy of walking out of a $1 movie. Like, what a bunch of assholes.
Well, agreed.
It was a $3 movie at the time.
It was $2. It was the 150 Tuesday things, the half off.
Oh yeah.
So it was $1.50.
Go to those like all the time because we lived right by it for a while. And that's
they should open that again.
And that's on Dating While Poor.
Well, now that's just how all movie theaters are now.
Yeah.
I would love to go to a movie. I can't wait till things are normal again.
Right.
At a cinema not too far from us, Cody, the one that you probably go to, they have like you can rent the whole theater for
$100.
We should do that. Us and Crosscut should do that as like a group outing, like a company outing.
I wholeheartedly agree. It's really cheap too.
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all.
With 5 of us, it'd be like $20 a person.
Yeah, I think so.
We could watch Jaws.
Oh fuck.
Or something else.
You don't like Jaws? That's Franny's favorite. You know what, guys? I feel like we're dragging this
gore.
podcast on a little bit.
Yeah.
It feels like we weren't even talking about the podcast for a second there. Like
it's like we have somebody on the like group call still that like doesn't want to be involved.
Yeah,
in the
is it talking? And that's just our audience. We literally suck.
Well, thank you for listening, you guys.
We love you guys.
Wait, don't stop it just yet, Franny. We gotta do some outros.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys.
Well, we are.
Anyway, guys, if you liked what me and Franny were doing here, you can check out our other podcast, youtube.com/crosscutcinema. You can get it wherever you get podcasts. It's called Crosscut Cinema. We review movies with our two friends. Also, if you liked what we're doing here, if you want to check out extra clips of us talking or my own personal podcast or just any sort of bonus material, you can check it out at youtube.com/Logan Tyler. That's my personal YouTube channel. Please go sub it. It's like barely in the hundreds area. So I could really use support on that as well. Everything will be linked in the description.
Yeah, and I'm CL Blue. I have an EP called Temple. If you liked what I'm doing here or didn't like what I'm doing here, go listen to it. Thanks.
Regardless, give it a listen.
Franny? Hello?
Hello? What am I supposed to plug? What else do I do?
The fucking Twitter and the email you forgot about for years. Oh, also, by the way, Tommy, we got your email. We're gonna email you back soon. What I want you to do?
Tommy.
What I want you to do is we're gonna pick one of your shows. The show we pick, we'll tell you, and then we want you to give us like a little written review from you, like something short that we can say of what you think about it.
I love that.
Thank you for emailing us. That was very cool. Sorry we didn't have the actual email to give you in our description. Now we do.
Yeah, we're going to link everything below this time.
Thank you for being tenacious enough to find our other podcast to email us about this podcast.
But anybody else out there, you can email us at apilotpodcast@gmail.com. I will have that written in the description.
Don't worry about the random pause we took. It's not like she was dumb and said the wrong domain or anything.
They don't need to know. That's why
I think they do.
They don't.
I think it's a part of your charm, Franny. Your stupidity is fantastic.
You can follow us on Instagram at apilotpodcast, twitter.com/apilotpodcast,
twitter.com/apilotpodcast, instagram.com/apilotpodcast, and follow us on all social
Pilot
medias.
Podcast.
Cody, wow, you're even interrupting yourself. God,
He's such a rude cunt, isn't he?
I can split my voice. I'm multi-talented.
God, Cody. Leave some room for the rest of us to have talent.
Goodbye,
Jeez.
everyone. I'm saying goodbye.
My head hurts. My head hurts.